Alright, so I just want to start this off by saying thank you for 30K. This video you're about to see, I've actually had this in the can for a little bit, so we'll go ahead and get into it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Eclectic Beard Gaming and Reactions. This go around something a little bit different. You might notice the ugly mug that's on the smaller screen right there beside me. Man, I'm going to tell you what. Holy crap. So, this is kind of a look back for me, at least. Taking a look at my first, official, attempt of doing videos on YouTube. So we can kind of see the difference of how things started. This is on my other channel, the Eclectic Beard, just the Eclectic Beard. This is from September of 2017. So holy crap, over 3 years. I didn't realize it'd been that long since I've been doing YouTube, to be honest with you. This is back then that channel's name was Alan's Beer and Beer and Sports. I did beer reviews and talked about sports. So I think you'll see the distinct difference in the way I did stuff then and the way I do things now, especially with my delivery and how I come across on camera. So yeah, before we go any further, like, subscribe, notification bell. Here we go.
Beer and sports reviews. My name's Alan. I'm going to be reviewing some beer and talking some sports. Now, we'll take and start off by saying that I'm not going to take and review anything like Bud Light, Coors Light, any of the normal stuff that you take and would go into the store and get. It's mainly beers that you can see in most of your grocery stores or your beer marts, or maybe if you got a Total Wine and Spirits, you know, you go in and you're like, I wonder how that tastes. Well, that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be reviewing. So that way, maybe if you watch this and I review something that you've seen that you...
Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm stumbling. I've stumbled quite a bit already out the gate, but I was also nervous as all get out for this one.
Been thinking about trying. Maybe to take and give you a little bit of credence to go, okay, well, yeah, maybe I'll take and try that. Or even be like, oh, no, never mind. The reaction on that was horrible. Now, I'll also start off by saying I'm a normal dude. So you're not going to, as you can see by my lovely background, there's no green screen on this shit. Don't have the...
Well, I don't have one right now, but that's only because I got to get a new one. Because I definitely upgraded. Just a smidge.
Money for that. I'm just a normal dude. I take and work construction, but I also like beer. You know, I don't try to go crazy with it. I don't take and try to stay drunk with it. You know, a beer here and there, a beer at night with dinner. You know, nothing. You know, that's how I like to enjoy it. And as I said, there's going to be no reviews on here of Bud Light, Coors Light, even Sam Adams Boston Lager or Heineken, unless somebody goes, hey, how's Heineken taste? And I might take and review it, because to be honest with you, frankly, I don't care for it, but it's been years since I've had it, so maybe I'll take and try that on camera. That being said, the beer I'm going to review tonight is going to be Harpoon IPA instead India Pale Ale, and I'll also be talking some college football. Now, since this is the beginning of my videos that I'm going to be doing, normally I'm going to keep it to one video a week. Normally on Fridays I'll review one beer a week. Is what I...
Okay, so real quick, the whole one beer a week, that didn't last all that long, and neither did the drinking a beer here or a beer there. You know, that took and turned into a beer a week to 2 beers a week to 4 or 5 reviews a week if I could get by with it. And sometimes I'd do a build your own 6-pack 2 times or 3 times over, and I'd take and film about 6 of them for a review, and the rest of them I just wind up getting drunk off of. It's one of the reasons why after a certain point, like at this point now, like I bought a 4-pack of pastry stout Friday. Let's just say I paid just a wee bit too much for it next day to take care to really drink a whole lot anymore. This was definitely, as you can see, the glorious beard wasn't so glorious. Uh, yeah, this is, man, just seeing this back over again. It just puts my mind exactly how far I've come, especially as far as being on screen and personality wise coming through.
The one video a week. Normally on Fridays, I'll review one beer a week. Because what I normally do is I take and go in the store. I buy a 6-pack, and I'll take and drink that 6-pack throughout the week. But since it's the beginning, I'm gonna take and do a video review tonight of a beer, the Harpoon IPA. I'll take and talk some college football. Tomorrow, I'll take and do a different beer. And I'll talk some NFL. I know baseball is going on. To be honest with you, I watch some baseball here and there. I'm not that big on it. I grew up watching it. I was a big fan of it as a kid. But I don't know. I guess since like Griffey retired and since Maddox and Glavine and Smoltz, yeah, I'm a Braves homer. I'm not going to take a lie about that. But, you know, it's just not as exciting for me anymore. That and the whole performance-enhancing drugs with the steroids kind of took some of the wind out of the sails of how much I enjoy watching it, because when you think somebody might be juicing while they're hitting 74 home runs in a season, they're breaking the all-time record for home runs. I mean, it's not as fun to watch because, you know, then the game's not pure, and that's the reason why I don't take and enjoy as much. That being said, let's get into the beer review. As I said tonight, reviewing the Harpoon IPA. It is Harpoon Brewery. It's an India Pale Ale, which is what IPA stands for, in case you were wondering. Oh, yay, some fizzage. Lovely. Straight out the fridge. Oh, maybe I shook it too much when I was talking to you, tell you about what the page was about. Anywho, let's get this top off. Yeah, that'll do it. Taking and hitting the bottom of the the bottom of the bottle with the top of the table. That'll sure enough do it.
I'll be honest with you, this is almost painful to watch in some aspects, just from the way, as often as I was stumbling across stuff, and I still stumble every so often on stuff. I say every so often, depending on what it's on. If I can't catch my words, then yeah, I might stumble just a wee bit more than otherwise. But especially when it comes to music, because a lot of times I listen to music that's blowing my mind. I reach for stuff, and it just doesn't come out like I want it to. But still, you know, I've cleaned a whole lot of this up. Also, you got the magic of editing, because if I feel like it's not going well, I'll take and collect my thoughts for a second with a pause, and then you won't see where I'm getting it. My thoughts together with a pause, but hell, 97% of my videos are all one long take, completely just whoop, and I'll take out the beginning, the end, that's it. I'll take and put the outro on it, and away she goes. But I've gotten so used to doing these videos now that just seeing this, it's like, oh my god, it was that bad?
Let some of this foam take and come off of it. It's got a nice foamy top now. Let some of that dissipate some, because I don't know, I just kind of take something away from the being able to enjoy it fully. You know what I mean? All right, let's go for broke on this one.
Oh my god. Oh boy. So yeah, that's a beer reviewer faux pas. Starting in the beer tube world on YouTube, you pour your drink into a glass. You don't go straight out the bottle. This right here as well, there's no, ah yes, I'm getting notes of the hops. I'm getting notes of the malt. It's got some chocolate. No, you don't get none of that whenever you're taking and drinking it straight from the bottle. But as I went on, you get more snobbish about stuff because you see how everybody else is reviewing the beer. My goodness. Woo. Lord have mercy. I'm surprised any of the beer tubers ever talked to me. They they would watch this and be like, oh no, we cannot have him on our channels.
Well, that's nice. Very nice. It's got a full flavor to it too. It doesn't have that. And one of the reasons why I don't drink Bud Light and Budweiser so much is because the flavor is almost like, how should I put it, water with, it tastes watered down. I mean, it's so easy to drink. I mean, you drink 12 of them and, oh, I've got a buzz. You drink something like this and it's going to take, and you get through one or two of them, you're going to feel a bit more full in your belly. You're not going to take and be so messed up. You might have a slight buzz. Normally IPAs have a little bit higher alcohol content than what your normal beers do. I can't find an alcohol content for this one. I know I've tried some. They're like 6.5%, 7% alcohol by volume. And for a 12-ounce bottle, I mean, you have two of those back to back. Even if you're trying to just take your time enjoying it, it's going to have a little bit more effect than Bud Light with, 4.5% alcohol by volume. It's just not going to take and have the same effect on you. This has got a very nice full body flavor to it. I mean, it's everything works well together between the hops and the malts that they took and used to make this. I mean, this is very nice. It's got a little bit of earthy flavor to it. A lot of IPAs have got a very bitter back end to it because they use the hops that are used while in the brewing process. Because a lot of times they'll take and add hops to the back end of the brewing process, and it'll take some, just add a little bit more punch to it. And it all depends on kind of the hops they use as far as whether you get an earthy flavor or a citric flavor at the end of it, or if they use like orange peel like some are want to do. I like this though. I would buy a 6-pack of this so I can enjoy it through the week, man. That's really good.
My Lord. No tasting notes whatsoever. Oh, that tastes good. Woo. That's how I know I got too high and mighty doing beer reviews, because even watching my first one, I'm like, damn, he's an idiot. What flavor do hops impart to it? I mean, come on now. Does it give it a piney note? It's got some dankness to it. Does it got any malty backbone to it? We get that it tastes good, but how do the flavors play? Jesus Christ. Hey. Wow, that tells me how ingrained... I did beer reviews for just over a year. That tells me how ingrained I got into doing the beer reviews. Because I'm watching this and in my head, I'm going, wait a minute. Well, what flavors do the hop impart? Now, remember this. It being the first one, I still remember it because Harpoon IPA is a very good IPA. It's very well balanced. You got a nice malty backbone on it, but it finishes nice and smooth. And up front, the hop addition that they do to it, I don't know if they take and add it like before everything. Like, I don't know exactly how they do it, but the flavors it imparts, you get a little bit of a citrus note, but you also get this hint of like earthiness to it. So I like Harpoon IPA, so I know exactly what this tastes like. But like, I'm watching this going, what does the flavors impart? Tell us. Nobody cares if you're gonna like it. They want to know what it tastes like. And that's just wow, beer snobbery. Holy crap. Sometimes it takes seeing exactly how you started doing stuff to be like, oh wow, I come this far. And if you change your niches like I've done, we're like, wow, I must have sounded like an asshole for a while. Good Lord. I just started it so my buddies wouldn't take and drink Bud Light. They know what other beers taste like. That's the whole reason why I started that YouTube channel. But now I started to sound like a snobby butthole, I think, probably. Oh, you got to try it. It tastes so good. You get the grapefruit, and you get the lactose, and you get... Oh, shit. That being said, any of my beer tuber buddies taking watches, I love y'all to death. I'm not knocking on you. I'm knocking on myself. But we do sound like a bunch of snobby assholes. Just saying.
So if you see this in the store, I say it's worth a buy. I mean, it's very nice. It's not overpowering at all. as far as the flavor wise. You can tell, you know, my wife doesn't drink beer a whole lot. She'll tell me, it tastes like beer. They all taste the same. Well, that's horseshit. They all got a different taste to them. It's just, you know, it's just how much of that you pick up on. Yeah, this would be something I can enjoy some football games with too. Speaking of which, this weekend, you know, there's 120 teams. I'm not going to take and go all through 120 teams 20 teams games. But the games that do stick out to me that I'm really interested in seeing is number one, Clemson and Louisville. Lamar Jackson, that boy can run. That boy can throw. Ever. He runs a little bit too much. I think the thing for Clemson's defensive coordinator, Brent Venable, will be to take and get him sideline to sideline, because he takes and goes north to south. It's a wrap. I mean, he's going to take and get 250 rushing yards, and he'll get another 200 passing yards on you because you didn't take out the running threat. So now he's also passing on you, and you're expecting him to run half the time. So what he'll take and do, you know, 200 rushing yards, and he'll have another 250 passing yards on you. He'll have 6 total touchdowns in a game, and just, you know, taking and watching the game against Auburn. Clemson's defensive front, very stout. Everybody's been hyping up Auburn this year, which they kind of do every year. I'll say I'm a Bama fan. Crimson and white, I bleed it. Roll Tide. I spent all of last year, like every other Alabama fan, run the fucking ball. That was our mantra last year. Run the ball, Kiffin, run the ball. This year, we're running the ball, but running the quarterback. But I'll get to that later. If they can get Lamar.
All right, so we're not going to go through the whole 16 minutes because the rest of it's not but football talking. Yeah, those games have already been played, and I think Bama won the national championship that year, unless it was the year that Clemson beat us in the national championship before we took and played Clemson the next year for the national championship. Yeah, anyways, it's just amazing to me. Man, that was over 3 years ago now, and it's hard to believe that not only is that channel still alive, and I need to put something out on it because really, there's been no big news as far as EVs are concerned. The last thing I covered, I believe, was the Ford Bronco on that channel. Or no. Last thing I covered was a hovering bicycle, basically. Before that, it was the Ford Bronco. But there's not been a whole lot of news thanks to COVID for EVs and autos and stuff like that. Everything just kind of been put under wraps. Now, I do need to take and go back over Lucid and their possible merger with Churchill Capital. I know Lucid just, 6 months ago? Not even 6 months ago, like 4 months ago, they got a big infusion of money from the Saudi royal family, basically, for it. So they've got some stuff going. I'm going to have to do a video on that, go further into what's been going on at Lucid and how they might shake up the EV marketplace, even being a luxury brand, costing more than Tesla does. But I really haven't been able to take and put nothing on that. Now, for this channel, I started this channel 8 months ago. My very first video on this channel was Low Key Fire in the Booth Part 2. And thank you for 20,000. I'll say it one more time, or probably 100 more times. Thank you for 20,000. I just had to take a look kind of to see exactly. It's nice to take a look back every so often to see how far you've gotten with things. Like this video right here, and I think the first 40. I was very unsure behind that camera, and my first camera that I used for anything was a camera phone. It wasn't this camera phone, but it was a camera phone. And oh my God, it's sometimes you kind of forget how things start. This channel has really blown up, but this channel is an offshoot. Basically, it was created because the other channel, I went from doing beer reviews to doing music reactions, and then I reacted to the Tesla Cybertruck. That blew up, and I started running with the EVs. I started looking at the Tesla Cybertruck and other EV trucks that were coming out, and then more electric vehicle related news and vehicles and things of that nature, and then went into autos and tech and stuff like that. So it's like to have started that long ago and then have a second channel after you've changed niches for a third time, have another channel that has hit like it's been hitting and getting the love that it's been getting, sometimes you have to take a step back, take a look back, and see how it all began. Because it's easy to forget sometimes, at least in my opinion. I think, you see people do this. You see them take and blow up. Doesn't matter what they're on, what the platform is. It doesn't matter if they're musicians. It doesn't matter if they're YouTube stars, which I always find kind of odd calling somebody on YouTube a star. But then again, people like Ninja and PewDiePie, they're kind of transcendent of certain things. But still, you can see people sometimes where they start having things go good for them, and they just kind of forget, man. So this is kind of, for me, just taking a look back and be like, damn, it's been that long. This is the way I started. That's how I sounded. And to see the progress that's been made, not only with the stuff I've been able to take and upgrade and do for the channel to try to make stuff look just a wee bit prettier, but also but also for the simple fact of the personality that's come forth. I tell anybody that's starting on YouTube, like, it's going to take you 30, 40, 50 videos at least to get to where you're, even if you think you're comfortable behind the camera, once that thing starts recording, like, you do funny stuff that you don't realize, to where you can make yourself very uncomfortable behind the camera. Or if you're already unsure before you start, that camera only makes it 10 times worse. You're going to feel like, oh my goodness, and you get so self-conscious. You hate the sound of your own voice. It takes a while to get comfortable with the sound of your own voice and not feel like a complete narcissist. Simple as that. I mean, just being honest with you. But finding that on-screen part of you where you bring your personality forth and you get comfortable and you have fun doing it. Sometimes it's easy to forget getting to that point and what led and how long it took to get to that point. So that's just kind of what this is. As a means of showing you, hey, this is kind of how I started, and I'm still continuously amazed at how the channel's doing and all the love that y'all take and give to me. It's just mind-blowing. So, I'm also going to do something else real quick. I've been 3 years. You do anything for 3 years, you get either help or you make friends along the way. And like my wife, number one, she's just been amazing through all of this. I've had circumstances happen to where it's made doing the YouTube kind of how do I put this? It's kind of my thing now. Like, I did, but it wasn't by choice. So, but her behind me and supporting me, I'm forever grateful. She's been here from the outset, and she's always encouraged it. Blake TV, like, I've only known him for just over a year, but that's my dude. That's like one of my very best friends in the entire world. Him and Jeremy Vincent, and them two right there, like, yeah, they're two of the coolest dudes. But there's a lot of other folks that, especially not long after getting started, because I was doing YouTube for almost a year before I even watched anybody else that was live and commented on any of their stuff, and met a group of fellas that I still chit chat with here and there when I get a chance to, that we all still kind of support each other. And you got to find folks like that. You got to, if you're taking and doing this with any kind of seriousness, or even just taking and putting out content and trying to ingratiate yourself into a niche somewhere. You've got to take and find folks that you have that are like-minded, or that you can at least bounce some ideas off of, and chit chat with. And like Drunken One and John Anilli and Bumpy Rhodes, Alex the Beer Master, like those cats right there. from the beer tuber community. Really good dudes, really good people. They've we don't all take and get to connect the way we used to sometimes because of totally different niche. But whenever I'm able to catch some of their stuff or whatever, they're able to catch some of my stuff. They stop by and say hello, and I do the same because it's yeah, you still want to make sure everybody's doing good, and that's how it is. And I expect that's probably how it'll still wind up being, no matter what, because you got folks that you try to take and look out to or look out for. You know what I'm saying? You just, oh shoot, they've got something come out. Let me take a look at it. Let me leave a like for them, and at least let them know, hey, I seen it. Do keep up the good work and stuff like that. Especially doing this because you might think you're not going somewhere sometimes, and just look, hey, dude, keep it up, doing a good job. Sometimes that's all it takes to really keep you going for that next video that you plan on putting out. I mean, that's because this YouTube thing, good lord, this thing right here can be a little bit aggravating every once in a while. So you put out videos like, oh my god, nobody's watching, and you get so depressed. It's like, I don't know if I'm going to do this no more. This happened a couple times with this channel. This happened a couple times, well, not with this channel right here, but this happened a couple times since I started YouTube before I really started gaining some traction. So at least on the original channel. And if I'd have stopped with the original channel, this one wouldn't even exist. And they're talking with those group of guys and Blake and Jeremy, like they're invaluable just for the amount of time we spent together off air, talking, shooting crap, stuff like that. So it's been, I'm gonna tell you right now, like just looking back at this and seeing the progression, not only of how my channel looks, how my videos look, how I look, but also the progression and the maturation in the presentation of how I present myself to folks and interact with people, how I do my lives and everything like that. It's just, I couldn't think of anything better to, outside of family, or or some kind of big life accomplishment, really be happy for, because it's a process. It's definitely a process. And anybody that watches this, if you've made it this far and you've got a YouTube channel and you're trying to plug away at it, man, don't stop. Don't stop. It gets to it feels like you might not get somewhere. As long as you consistently do stuff and you consistently try to improve on what you put out or how you come across or what content you're able to provide, you'll eventually gain some traction. You'll eventually start taking and getting some, not only people in your community, but also you'll get that self-confidence to take and be like, okay, this is, yeah, all right, I'm on the right path at least. You'll gain that traction that'll take and help you get put into the algorithm, that'll help you start getting views outside of your normal community, to take and start building and growing that community. So that being said, y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. And again, thank you so very much. Like I said, this is just my look back, because sometimes I think it's good to take and see how you started, where you started. And then, and it'd been a minute since I've done that. So I figure, why not do basically a look back, a reaction to my first video. It's not the whole video, because we're not going through all the college football stuff. Dear God, that would have took forever. I'm not even lying. That would have took, got a whole another 8 minutes and 10 seconds. So, yeah. Peace, y'all.